Welcome back. Oops, that's a bit loud. Welcome back to Auto Tech and TalkRobot. I'm your host for this afternoon, Britta Muzyk-Tikovsky. I'm very excited to introduce you to the great talks that we have in store. You'll hear from ChargePoint, Lime, Rimac, and later on Virgin Galactic. And they give you their take on how we move from place in the future. What role will electric vehicles play? Is there a right way to regulate a phenomenon like ride-sharing? And what are the ways that we'll interact with our cars in future? We'll get into all of that. But first, I wanted to set the scene and give a quick perspective on what is critical. So technology supports a basic human need, mobility. We all know that. We run our errands. We need it for doing business, meeting clients, going to the office, meeting loved ones, spend leisure time, go on vacations. And mobility improves the quality of life. The circumstances of our life change constantly, so that's why we need to innovate. And innovation doesn't always mean to reinvent the wheel. It can also mean to connect two things that at first sight don't seem to go together. An example that influenced me early on was something my dad did. He took my tricycle, a used car battery, and an old wiper motor, and he turned it in the most awesome vehicle we had in our village, the first electric vehicle. So EVs are on the way to becoming mainstream at the moment. There's many new players entering the market, and they're challenging the status quo of the OEMs. But exchanging one type of vehicle with another one, will this solve the challenges that we face for mobility in the future? So the phase of the mobility will change in future. It will be autonomous, it will be faster, and it will be airborne. But still, is this enough to solve the problems that we have with congestion and safety and the emissions? Or are there other ways that we need to think differently? For example, take the public transportation system. If we not count the rush hours, the current usage rate of public transportation is around 20%. That's not very efficient. It's clogging up the streets, and we need to find a solution. Why is it not efficient? Because it's an inflexible system. But what if we made it a flexible system? What if we found a bus that could cut itself into pieces while driving? Imagine one of these units picking you up at home when you want to go to the office, a single unit. And then on a main street, you share and combine the modules together, which create like a bus, so you make a more efficient use of the road that you have because you share that same direction. But then for the last mile, if you want to go to different directions, the bus can split up again. So it's a flexible system. And there's a startup that's working on this at the moment. But if we look at technology, there's also other industry than just the mobility sector that are making use of it. If we look at an old economy like farming, they're also looking into autonomous vehicles. And if we look at the growing population in future, autonomous vehicles in farming might be more important than autonomous vehicles for personal mobility at the moment. Another industry sector is with maritime applications. So they're looking into autonomous ships and electrified ships. And all of these solutions address large markets, which is good. It increases efficiency, but it's not always about efficiency and revenue. And there's other large groups that we need to take into account. So by 2030, the UN is expecting that the size of the global population of people aged over 60 will be a whopping 1.5 billion. That's about 20% of the overall global population. It's a huge amount of people. And that doesn't take into account people with disabilities or impaired people. So autonomous mobility for them will be crucial, a crucial part to ensure their quality of life. And instead of, for example, developing robots that are taught to withstand people, some of you may have seen the video of the Spot Mini. Why not develop solutions like maybe an all-terrain vehicle that allows the elderly people, some of us may be among them in the next 10, 15 years, it allows them to go around, to keep their quality of life, to be mobile, maybe to even hike up in the mountains. Since October 5th this year, doctors in Shetland, Scotland, are authorized to prescribe a walk in nature as a remedy. And it's expected to help decrease heart diseases, blood pressure, and increase happiness for people that suffer from anxiety and stress. So a solution like that could support this. And today is the day where we are able to influence how technology is used and what it is used for. It's our duty to consider the impact that technology has on the people and the planet. And there's already great initiatives out there that use technology for social good. So I'm asking all of us to please join them in their quest. And so we have a lot to cover this afternoon, and let's get started. They say oil and water don't go together, but oil and drones are proving to be a dynamic duo. For our first talk this afternoon, we turn to the CEO of aerial intelligence company Caspri and the group CIO of Shell. They walk through how sensor-based analytics involving drones and fixed cameras are transforming energy companies for the better. They also let us in on a preview of a new project starting in 2019, in which Shell deploys drones to monitor a whopping 1.2 million square feet of lab space like never before. Put your hands together for Caspri CEO George Matthew and Shell CIO Jake Crott.